You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
I never said that. Trump's favorite pollster denies doomsaying prediction that came true, based on an article by Travis Geddes. When the brand breaks, the lie shows. Trump owns the message, Republicans own the damage. A year after Republicans renamed their tax cut bill, the story is still the same. The party tried to wrap a handout in a friendlier label. Trump kept sabotaging the rewrite, and now his pollsters publicly denying he ever warned them the original name was dead on arrival. The reported details matter less as gossip than as evidence of a governing style built on spin, internal confusion, and a permanent refusal to own the product. The rebrand was the admission. Calling it the Working Families Tax Cuts Act was not clarification, it was confession. Republicans did not change the law. They changed the packaging because the first package was politically radioactive. That is what a rebrand after the fact always means. They knew the bill's real identity did not match the story they wanted voters to hear. Trump then undercut even that effort by continuing to use the old name on Truth Social. So the party did not merely fail to sell its agenda, its own leader actively blew up the sales pitch. Whatever message discipline existed disappeared the moment it ran into Trump's impulse to dominate attention, even at the expense of the legislation his party wanted credited to him. Denial is the escape hatch. Tony Fabrizio's denial is classic Republican damage control. The moment a private warning becomes public, everyone involved pretends the warning never existed. That is not accountability. It is an effort to erase the record after the strategy has already failed. The point is not whether one aide remembers the meeting correctly and another wants to rewrite it. The point is that Republican leaders were told, explicitly or not, that Trump could not be relied on as a stable messenger. They proceeded anyway, then they blamed the resulting mess on communication problems instead of the real source. A political operation organized around one man's impulses. A party that cannot sell its own agenda. John Cornyn's complaint about scattershot messaging is revealing because it is so narrow. He describes the symptoms, not the disease. The disease is that Republicans have fused their legislative identity to a president who treats messaging as improvisation and politics as whatever is currently holding his attention. That leaves lawmakers stranded, trying to market a law while Trump is talking about a reflecting pool renovation, a White House ballroom, or some other side project that has nothing to do with the policy they want to defend. The result is not a communications failure in the abstract. It is institutional submission to a leader who will not stay on script long enough for the party to build one. The real story is power without discipline. The reporter's frame risks turning this into a personnel squabble between a pollster, a caucus, and a mercurial president. It is bigger than that. The Republican Party is showing what happens when a governing coalition is built around loyalty to a single figure instead of durable political purpose. The bill may be in Congress, but the power is still concentrated in Trump's habits, Trump's vanity, and Trump's need to overshadow everything else. That is the larger pattern. Modern Republican governance does not merely tolerate misdirection, it depends on it. The legislation gets a new name, the messaging gets blamed on the staff, and the leader keeps doing whatever flatters him most. When the branding collapses, the underlying contempt for voters is exposed. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Ross Story for today's article. With the automated voice of Libritz, our thanks for listening.